Good morning, Pastor Mike, Ascension Lutheran Church, Wichita, Kansas. After that little taste of winter last week, I'm glad summer is back. Cold is not my favorite. But what a roller coaster of changing temperatures last week. In life, change is as prevalent as air. But just being around air doesn't do you any good. You have to breathe it in. Unfortunately, embracing change is not as natural as breathing. It could be argued that humans fight change as hard as they would fight to breathe. However, you can't stop change. Did you know that you are a completely new person about every 7 years? It takes about 7 years for all the cells in your body to be replaced by new cells. Now, you'd think if that were true, we would keep our youthful skin and youthful looks. Doesn't work that way. Unfortunately, replicating DNA, which drives the outcome of each cell, keeps changing over time due to damage from environmental factors, pollutants, chemicals, and how we treat our bodies. Thus, we age. Still, our bodies are always changing. They must change to stay alive. That's simple biology. Society is like a living organism, made up of individuals and groups of people that are constantly changing. Society isn't static. Static means dead. Rocks are static, and they are dead. The church, likewise, is a living organism that also changes. It must to stay alive and vibrant. It's inevitable. If the church isn't changing, it's dead. To be sure, theology doesn't change, God's revelation doesn't change. But the church, that is, the people and the organization of the church, is always changing. That's simple sociology. But only by embracing change and making it a part of our existence can we grow. Resisting change is futile. It puts us in an adversarial relation to change. By embracing change, we can help determine how it will impact our lives and how we can impact future change. It is only as we make this choice that growth can occur. So here is another truth. Change is inevitable. Growth is an option. When I think about this truth, I think about the miraculous draft of fishes that the disciples experienced on the Sea of Galilee. They had been fishing all night, and Jesus, who was standing on the shore and whom they didn't recognize right away, asked the age-old fisherman question, "Catching anything?" "No," Peter replied, "fished all night and nothing." Then Jesus says, "Why not cast your net on the other side of the boat?" You can imagine the reaction of the men in the boat. Who are you to tell me, a professional fisherman, how to fish? The other side of the boat? No respectable fisherman tosses nets that way. That's not proper fishing. It's never been done that way before. But for whatever reason, maybe because they were exhausted, or maybe because they just resigned themselves and said, "What can it hurt? We haven't caught anything anyway." For whatever reason, they did it. They tossed their nets on the other side, and the net was filled with fish, more than they could haul onto the boat. One small change they embraced, and the whole outcome changed. Quite often, it's not change that people resist, but the loss that comes with change. With any change, there will be loss. I was reminded of that when we decommissioned the Tyler Sanctuary for remodeling. I was surprised at the emotional reaction that I observed, even though intellectually I shouldn't have been surprised. This place, with its orange carpet and wall coverings and pew fabric, with its slippery white tile chancel and its long straight pews and kneelers, with its dim lighting and dark spots, it's been home for some 42 years. While renovation was needed, there is still the loss of the familiar home. I don't want to downplay that loss. I want to acknowledge that loss. Those who sacrificed to build the Tyler Sanctuary, those who spent countless hours thinking about its design and symbolism and content, those who volunteered their time maintaining the pews, vacuuming the carpet, dusting the furniture and woodwork, keeping the sanctuary spotless and ready for worship. I know some will miss the look, miss the familiar, miss the tradition. With change, there is loss. And yet, it is at this point where each of us have the option. Each of us makes the choice to either embrace change or become adversarial to change. We choose either to grow or to be static. It is really your choice, because change is inevitable. Growth is an option. Have a blessed day.